Your mother was a vicar's daughter. I mean, she doesn't look like a vicar's daughter, although I have to say, if I was a vicar's daughter, perhaps it's how I'd like to look.
She was hockey captain at the school and became quite friendly with the gym teacher who arranged the matches, who seemed to have a yachtsman's pub at Burnham near Chichester Harbour,
Right.
where she went to work.
So the vicar's daughter goes to work in the pub, and then what happened?
It was obviously a guest house as well.
Right.
this pub. Russell Flint came with his family and his sons to stay there
The great artist, the great draftsman of the 20th century.
and sailed because it's lovely sailing down there. This was just a fleeting
Yeah.
few years of her life, I think. Quite interesting for
I mean,
her.
isn't it wonderful that during those fleeting years of her life that she should have knocked into one of the most famous artists at work in the 20th century in immortalising feminine beauty in many ways. And your mother happened to be in his orbit because he enjoyed sailing, wanted to stay at the pub. She was working there, and hey presto, a work of art takes place. And I love that sort of random nature by which gems like this come into being. And what I particularly like about this drawing is its colour. She's obviously a bit of a dapper dresser, your mother.
I'm sure she'd be complimented to hear that.
It looks to be a drawing that would have been executed in about, I suppose, 1930 or thereabouts.
That sounds about right, as she was born in 1914.
I couldn't begin to judge the character of your mother through Russell Flint. Why? Because all his women have a tendency to look the same. But that's Russell Flint. He cast his wand or his brush or his pencil and subsumed women into his appearance. And it was very, very successful. And there are hundreds, in fact thousands of these pictures in wealthy houses throughout Britain and across the world. So I suppose we ought to talk about a value for this. If she were a naked figure in the rather hot, lascivious way that we know Russell Flint to do and be in his portrayals of women, it would be perhaps 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. But I think it's probably a 1,500, even £2,000 picture as it is. But we're going to need to get rid of those spots all over
I
it.
wondered if you could advise me how best to do that, please.
There are many restorers out there who would be very capable of removing that type of fungal damage, so have no worry about that.
Oh, that's lovely. So that's something we'll get on with doing. Thank you very much indeed.